It was.
Hey Zo, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
I'm ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
ZoWilliams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason. Hey, it's about to go down in the town. We got another heater topic. We've got another heater of a topic. Turn my mic up a little bit, man. We got another heater topic up in this mug. The voice of reason on Dash Talk X. You already know what it is. I'm ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. Got these beats banging.
Yes. Banging.
My homeboy James Broadway out here doing his thug thizzle.
Thizzle for shizzle.
You on the dig?
What?
Salsa vibe.
Oh, man.
Hey, bring it.
Hey, can I tell y'all? Today's topic is designed to challenge us all
Oh, boy.
If this is your first time tuning into the Voice of Reason, let me give you a little insight into what it is that we do. Relationships. There's no way we will have peace in the world unless we have an understanding of how to relate. We can't have an understanding of how to relate unless we have a firm knowledge of exactly who we are as people.
Right.
Right. That part.
So I've devised a scheme. Women claim to know everything about relationships.
They do.
So what I decided to do was make it simple. Okay, y'all know everything? We gonna do a show where I highlight y'all opinions.
Oh, boy.
Women come on from all walks of life. Mimi, entrepreneur, owns a shop, a boutique. Wallona for 2018.
Not Waleezy.
Everybody love Wallona's badass.
She do kind of Bologna it up.
This is 2018, no. She done remixed Wallona. You dig?
Thank you.
Then we got a comedian. You know her. She's always interjecting.
Yes.
She doesn't know how to wait her turn.
You had to dance when you said that part.
Her name is Peaches, but that ain't her real name. She hates being called Peaches, by the way. Because I'm gonna out your ass today. She really salty that she got named Peaches.
You know what? Not salty.
She can't even shake it. People be walking up to her in the streets. Hey, Peaches.
Right. That's
All
right.
in the grocery store.
Her name is Donnie Keith. Spell the weird spelling for people.
Daugne.
But here's the thing. You're going to always be Peaches.
I've accepted it.
You have to.
T'Challa, I've accepted it.
You must.
I have. It will not leave us.
Leave us.
It will not.
But yes, they're here today. We've got other women coming.
Oh, good.
You guys met one of them.
Okay.
Hey.
Isn't she sweet?
Yes.
I told y'all.
She gonna blow y'all minds.
Yeah.
Nah, she's dope. She's dope. Hey, but I'm not even going to get into all of that. This is a caller-driven show. We want your participation. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. Once again, I'm Ziggity ZoWilliams, the VOR, sometimes. Right?
All the time.
And
All
before,
the time.
hey, you know I try. Before I get into today's topic, I gotta promote Total Package Energy.
I see you got a lot of them over there today.
Hey man, I got a big ass box full of them.
Yeah.
Listen, it's only one day left in the month. Can we get 60 cases moved? 60 cases of what I believe to be the world's best energy shot. Phil, get on the mic. I always put Phil on the spot because I catch Phil when he's at his tiredest.
Yep, you
and
do.
he be like, yo, my nigga.
Right.
You got one of the red bottles, my nigga.
Hilarious.
Phil, but you got to tell them so they can know it ain't just Zoe out here tweaking.
Look, Zoe is my guy because he comes through with the Total Package Energy, and it's always when I'm, falling asleep at my desk in the back, and it always wakes me up, and I had one today. I've had one for the past 2 days, and I felt great.
It's cracking.
Yep. I just had one.
You just had one.
Right now. And I
You
mean,
did?
I feel good, y'all.
Total Package Energy is a very real product. Go to TotalPackageEnergy.com. Black-owned business out of the Yay area. Town business. Please stand.
Yay area.
Well,
Where you at?
we need everybody to go to Total Package Energy. Tell them ZoWilliams sent you. You underdig? And get your total package. TPE. Total Package Energy. Now, I need to promote. Listen, before I even go into this, the holographic relationship is coming. It's coming. It's coming. Not like Jesus. It's not going to have you waiting 2,000 years, but it'll be here.
You know what? It's on its way.
It's on its way. I'm telling you today, the holographic relationship is. I'm just proud of it. You know, sometimes you do certain things and you stop and you go, wow, you did that.
That's right.
That came from you.
That's
so
right.
I mean, it's a dope work. Everybody go now. If you go right now to my website, I am ZoWilliams, click books.
Okay.
Right? Click books and pre-order your copy right now of The Holographic Relationship. My third book since 2005.
That's
right.
That's my third
I'm
book.
proud of you.
All right.
Order that. And I mean now.
It's fire. All right. We want to move.
You need that.
We want to move 300 copies. Can we start September off with a bang? 300 copies. And that's not a lot.
Nope.
300 copies of The Holographic Relationship. Let's start today. Everybody, let me introduce you to a little nuance of this show. We broadcast live on my YouTube page. You in the dig? We broadcast live on the YouTube page. What do you mean, Zoe? Yes, there's a camera in here. You get to see the beauties, you know, of Donnie Keith. Hey, skin. Everybody talking about her skin is out. Hey, skin.
They not cracking on my arms yet.
Nah, they not cracking on your arms yet, but your skin is out and they love it. And then, of course, you got Mimi in here in this little, I don't know what it is, but it's form-fitting and it's very...
She's flowery.
Sexual. I mean, it's very nice. Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
So, again, you guys may hear me Talk X listeners. You may hear me reference the chat room. Chat room, stand up right now. Hit the super chat button. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. You may hear me say these things because I'm talking to our live YouTube audience. My YouTube page has over 38,000 subscribers.
That's right.
And we're closing in on 6.5 million views.
That's
so
right. That part.
Yeah, it is.
Underneath.
Here we go. Now, don't forget to pick up a copy of The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. My 2015 release. This book has been golden. Wake Up, Break Up, Make Up book. If you're ready to make up, it'll help you. If you're ready to break up, it'll help you.
Right.
And if you're ready to wake up out of that slumber you've been in, it will help you with that as well.
That's right.
You want to dig? Go to Amazon.com and order the paperback version. But you can also get the Kindle. You can go to your iTunes and you can pick up, you know, The Relationship Dismount.
That's
on
right.
iTunes as well. And then there's another book I'm reading that I'm thoroughly enjoying. From Hell to Fire, Compton Fire Department, Book 1, Sex and Politics, Allison Brooks.
Y'all need that. That's
You
that
know.
fire.
A lot of women. And listen, this is going to tie in. This book ties into our topic today.
Oh, okay.
This topic ain't going to be easy. I'm going to tell you right now.
Are any of them?
Listen, ain't no show Monday because of the holiday.
Yeah.
We ain't going to be back until Wednesday.
So we gotta go hard.
So we might as well go hard in the mud.
That's right. Gas, no brakes.
You on the dig? Are y'all ready for today's topic? The number to dial is 323-230-4610. You're listening to the voice of reason on Talk X. I'm ZoWilliams. We about to tear this motherfucker down. I had to ask this question. Let me turn the music down. Gosh. How to avoid being a deadbeat person. A deeper look at how losers are created.
Ouch.
Wow.
I had to do it, goddammit. A deadbeat person. And does society favor making men more deadbeats than women? I think women get off the hook a lot.
I agree.
I agree.
And I'm not blaming women. You can't blame women for the social game rules of society.
Right.
Women are like men. What do? We conform to the game rules in society.
Right.
It's really that simple. I was talking to my homeboy again, and damn, I mean, it's tough. His woman, it's not his woman, but the mother of two of his children, she put cigarettes out on one kid.
Oh, she needs her tail whipped.
But those kids always loved her, always accepted her, always embraced her, and never didn't. He raised them because once she put the cigarettes out, he got them.
Right.
Okay.
As he should.
He raised them to adulthood. She wasn't on the hook for no money, no child support, no nothing.
Okay.
She didn't really do for them like that. But those kids don't see her as a deadbeat. Had the shoe been on the other foot, they wouldn't be talking to his ass now.
He'd be in prison.
Right.
You underdig? This is the same dude who's got a child support case for a kid that's not his.
Wow.
And the DNA test proved that it's not his. And this is what the court system told him. Because this girl, the child in question, is an adult now, and we can't legally go after her biological father, somebody got to pay the state back.
Wow.
And what he said was, somebody got to pay the state back for this woman who lied.
Right.
She perjured herself by saying, I was the father in the first place.
Right.
So how come she don't owe you the money?
Right.
Right.
Again, is society set up for men to be losers?
Yeah.
That's a man.
Yeah.
In the
real talk.
judicial system, yes.
Yes. It's sad.
Ooh-wee. I got questions. Ladies and gentlemen. Get to your phone lines right now. If it does not apply, what a woman... Well, I don't even want to say this. I don't want to say this. If it does not apply, what makes a woman a deadbeat being above 30 years old? Like, what makes her... If she's 30 years old, what makes her a deadbeat? How can you call a woman a deadbeat? You can call a nigga a deadbeat who's 30 years old still at his mama's house. Right? You 30 years old, you still at your mama's house, nigga, you ain't doing shit.
Right. That goes both ways, though.
But do you call a woman a deadbeat? Do you call a dude a deadbeat?
If he's at his mama's house, he ain't working, nothing, just living at his mama's house?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a deadbeat, right?
That's a shiftless nothing.
But do we call women shiftless?
If she
Go ahead.
If she been living there for years and years and years, yes. If it's different if some type of malfunction happened and you got to get back on your feet and stay somewhere for a second. I get that. You got to re-up. But if you ain't re-ing up, you just chilling, you a deadbeat male, female, whoever. If you stay at your mama's house all your whole life and you depending on your mama to pay the bills and
sounds good.
It's a deadbeat, though, basically.
But I don't think the majority of women agree with you.
You know why I think the women do? If they kept it real, if they got a homegirl, right, and they homegirl stay with their mama, and they not doing nothing for their kids, they staying at home, everything about them is in slow motion, and they're not trying. Believe me, other women are talking about it. Maybe they don't call her a deadbeat, but they say she ain't shit. You know what I'm trying to say?
I like that.
You feel
Yeah,
what I'm
that
trying to
bitch
say?
ain't
Like,
shit.
that
That's
bitch
what
ain't
we
shit.
say.
She ain't taking care of her kids. You know what I mean? She wearing the designer stuff, but, you know.
I'm just saying society villainizes, actively villainizes men.
Oh, it's worse for men, absolutely, because at the end of the day, a lot of times men that are doing that may not be taking care of their kids. So,
right.
And so on top of that, they're being talked about for all the things. Oh, you stay with your mama, you're not taking care of your kids, but it's still the same thing, vice versa. I think if you just keep it real, I think if a mother's doing the exact same thing the father's doing, she's just as guilty, whether we want to admit it or not.
Right. So let me get through a few more of these questions. If it does not apply, what makes a woman, a deadbeat who's over 30, not being able to cook or clean? Oh, God. Okay, I'll leave that question alone. As wealth calcification becomes more apparent, will it make it clearer that the concept, listen to this, that the concept of the inadequate mate is built out of racism? See, a lot of people don't know. Money is racism.
It is.
Right.
Wealth is racism.
Okay, you're right.
So if we turn around and say this nigga ain't shit, or for that matter, this woman ain't shit, because they haven't reached a certain plateau within this society, are we not white supremacists? Because money is based on race.
White supremacists?
That's what I said. It was a white supremacist who said, let's redline this neighborhood so niggas can't move in.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was a white supremacist at the motherfucking bank that said, we not loaning to niggas.
Right.
And they still do that today. You do not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. It was a white supremacist who said, anybody who has the suffix, any female who has the suffix of Isha or Quandra at the end of her name can't get this job, regardless of how qualified she is. We want to act. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Okay. I got questions, goddammit. I got questions. What makes a woman a deadbeat partner that a man is willing to settle for? Her wealth, her age, her family background, her education, number of children and or past intimate relationships. Do we even have, oh God, this is terrible.
Hilarious. This is terrible.
But I'm just saying, do you see how these questions is coming?
Yeah, they
keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Bring it.
Because a lot of men who are doing so-called well for themselves would take a woman who would, if she was a man, having certain credentials, could be seen as a deadbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A lot of men marry cuteness.
Right.
You hear men will say it off tops. It ain't tricking if you got it.
Mm-hmm.
And if she bad,
right,
she don't need no degree.
Mm-hmm.
She don't need really nothing but that thing.
So he think.
I'm just asking, y'all.
Right.
I'm just asking.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of deadbeat people out here.
It sure is.
How many times has a well-off man married a woman who, before she met him, had given up on life?
Mm-hmm.
She ain't had nothing going. She knew that. Right? How many men who found a little piece of change married a woman who wants to talk down on other people's dreams because they haven't realized their own?
Wow.
How many men have married a woman who gets jealous over small, dumb things? How many men of means has married a woman with zero purpose? Ain't found her purpose.
Ain't gonna find her purpose.
Right.
Right? How many men who are well off, have married a woman that is narcissistic, only gives a fuck about herself, and doesn't really show love to the world? How many men have married a woman that demotivates and is uninspiring? See, we can flip it the other way, and because, again, some banal. We're not talking about all women.
Right.
We can flip it the other way and talk about men, but men are always talked about.
Right.
Soon as a relationship go bad, he was unmotivating and he de-inspired me and he was demotivating. He beat me down. That is a narrative women get to villainize men with all the time.
Right.
Right.
Am I lying?
Nope.
Okay. How many women have taken in a man that has given up on life in order to try to rebuild this nigga?
You see my eyes just crossed,
A lot
right?
of
So,
women.
but what you don't hear is you don't hear about the female deadbeat.
Nah.
You don't hear about the female loser because society doesn't really acknowledge the female loser. See, in y'all coven, y'all might acknowledge her.
Right.
Like, this bitch ain't gonna never be shit.
Right.
But you'll still circle the wagons around her. Women do that. And not all. Some but no. Some but no.
Mm-hmm.
Some but no.
You know what?
I got questions. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Are women protected by society from being classified as deadbeats? This Mexican chick. No disrespect to the Mexican homies. La raza. Listen. This Mexican chick lied to the courts.
Yeah.
She perjured herself.
Wow.
Right.
And my homeboy is on the hook for 17.5.
Wow.
He needs to fight that with every tooth and nail he can afford to.
Now,
Right.
now, the peep game. His child support payments is $50. But the interest on the child support payment is $49. So only $1 of the $50 goes to paying down his arrears.
Wow.
The rest goes to the interest.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
I'm going to ask again, are women protected by society from being classified as deadbeats? Are men the only gender capable of being classified as a loser? I want to hear from women. I want to hear your stories. Do you know female losers? The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. I need to hear. You ladies in the studio, you must share with me your encounters with the female deadbeat. How to avoid being a deadbeat person. A deeper look at how losers are created. Who believes women are more valued than men in Western society? I asked some women today, who's the most valuable gender? She was like, are you kidding me? Of course, it's women. Is it? I want to hear from you motherfuckers this evening. 323-230-4610. Who is more important to society, men or women? Back in the day, almost all societies believed that women were inferior to men. You know why?
Why?
Because before the advent of technology, life was hella physical.
True that.
I got to go sock this goat in the jaw so we can eat tonight.
Not the goat.
Why you gotta sock the jaw?
You know
I'm
what?
finna motherfucking punch this motherfucking elk in the mouth.
Silver.
You know what? Not the elk. And
I
drag him home.
gotta go box a moose right now.
Right.
Blazes saddle's ass.
Right. I don't want to hear no shit from you. I'm out here fighting moose.
Right.
Wow.
You did?
Right.
There was a woman out there socking goats.
No, it wasn't. Goats was beating y'all ass back in the day. Stop. This is before MMA, my nigga.
It was a Xena bitch out there socking her goats.
What makes a person qualified to talk about what it means to be a loser? In modern day society, are men born to lose? Those are my questions. The number to dial. 323-230-4610. You're listening to the Voice of Reason on Dash Talk X. Mimi,
Yes.
who is the most valued gender? Which is the most valued gender in American culture today? Men or women?
I'm going to say women.
You motherfucking right.
You know,
Why?
when Mother's Day comes, women,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they get more accolades than on Father's Day. I mean, it shows in all the areas, even in the, you know, marketing, when they're when they look at the buying market, even during those times, women, the mothers are getting more attention, more gratitude. So I think the men are kind of getting the shorter end of the stick, you know. But I think that women give life, but I think also men help them to give that life. So I think that, you know, it's the king and the queen. I think everybody needs to have their respect. You feel me? Because all respect to the king, but hey, all respect to the queen.
You under dig a balance. I like that. I like that. I like that. Peaches.
Of course, women are put in a more valuable position than men in society because, I mean, you know, like you said, physical abuse and all the things that women have endured over the years. And you go to court and the judge is like, oh, the poor lady was beat up. We're just going to say fuck all men. And, I mean, when y'all go to court over getting physically abused, the judge is not going to be as friendly to you. He's going to say, what did you do to her to make her hit you?
First off, do they even make it to court? Don't even bring up.
I'm just saying, there's some out there. White people take each other to court for physical abuse, I'm sure. Black people, we not going to call the police. We going to handle it ourselves in most cases.
You niggas will call the police now.
Oh, there's some out there that will call the popo on their man. But it's very rare a man calls the police on his woman when he's getting fucked up. So, you know, if you call the police, if a man calls the police, they usually take them both to jail. If a woman calls the police, guess who's going to jail? You, not the woman.
No, you know what? This recently happened. I don't know all the details, but someone that I know, their daughter was pregnant by a young man, and she attacked him. I don't know if he hit her first. I don't know what happened, but she got arrested.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. But I don't know what happened, though. It's kind of like a secret. So maybe something really big happened, and then that's why he had to call the police. But I thought it was interesting. You send your pregnant baby mama to jail. But who knows what she did? I do not know, and so I can't judge. But I just feel like, man, back in the day, you know, a man wouldn't do that, at least send her to jail while she's pregnant. But now she's fighting a case. But I do not know, you know, what she did, though.
She
you know
fucked him up.
She fucked him up bad, apparently. He probably was like, I don't want to go to jail because I'm going to fuck you up. I don't know. But it was
I got
wrong.
a homeboy.
It was wrong.
He will remain
Anonymous.
His baby mama was waiting for him in the house.
Oh.
And when he walked in, she attacked him with a knife. Gashed his whole arm up, then stabbed him in the foot through his Timberland, all the way through the shoe.
Wow.
Did he beat the brakes off that bitch?
No, he didn't.
He got the police.
The police came, took her to jail, but he didn't press charges.
Right. But they
You know what? Why didn't he?
But did they pick
it don't
up?
matter why he didn't. They got a daughter together.
Right.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, men tend to lean towards honor. Fuck, I can't have her just out here without her mama.
Yeah.
Even though her mama is Linda Blair.
Right. Hey, but you know what? I did the same thing on the opposite side of the fence. I let him get away with that in terms of I could have pushed the gas.
You really could have.
And I didn't push the gas. You know what I mean? He could still be under the jail right now.
Y'all
But
some really nice people is all I could say.
What I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying, to speak to Mimi's point, that there aren't terrible men
right
in the world. We not talking about that. We know that there are terrible motherfuckers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I've been terrible at times.
Me too.
Me too.
But I always say to people, man, there is a prevailing narrative that men are horrible.
Right. Agreed.
Especially black men.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You'll see article after article, black women get killed more by black men. You'll see that. That's out there. But what you won't see according to the CDC, women are more violent than men.
We can be.
No, not we can be. The stats say.
Where did they do the statistics?
Go lay down.
Black women or white women?
Are
See,
you- wait,
the
are you
demographic
talking?
matters.
Are you talking again?
Okay.
Look at you. Okay. This why right here. Let me go whoop her ass. No. No, seriously. According to the CDC, they just have different categories for it.
Okay.
Exactly.
The category is men are physical.
Okay.
More physical. So if a man gets violent towards a woman, he tends to hurt or kill her.
Right.
Yeah.
So what they then do in reverse is marginalize female violence because they label it as moderate.
Right.
So let me tell you what moderate is. Throwing things, spitting, kicking, pushing, punching, slapping.
Mm-hmm.
Does the majority of that?
We do.
Women.
Yeah.
And so what they're saying is, while they're trying to push for equality, men, you should be able to tolerate and swallow a female's form of violence.
That's not right.
Women cannot be seen as losers. A man hit a woman, he's a loser. Woman hits a man, she crazy with fire pussy. And worth the risk.
Worth them bandages.
Worth it.
Who thinks I'm lying right now?
A nigga be looking like the mummy, but her pussy good.
Right.
He wrapped up like the damn mummy, but that pussy was good.
So let's define what makes a deadbeat person. Mimi, give me 3 things that makes a person a deadbeat in life.
In life. Oh, they've never had a job or career goals. I think if they don't take care of things in general, like for instance, they're not bathing, they're not cooking, they're not taking care of themselves, everything about them is lazy and negative. That's another part. And I think the last thing is, I think if they walk through life talking bad, being messy and negative towards other people, I think that's a bad move right there.
I like that. Peaches!
I think what makes people deadbeats in life is dishonesty towards other people.
You mean like how you lie about all the shit you do? Okay, cool. Go ahead, finish.
Don't be trying to put me on the spot.
Hilarious.
I'm not gonna bite into that. But yeah. I think dishonesty, I think lack of respect for yourself makes you a deadbeat because you're not getting up off your ass to do shit. And I think that just being a lazy motherfucker makes you a deadbeat. Not caring about yourself.
Do you see the problem? There's not enough thought put into the answer.
Okay.
Everything can't be predicated on ambition or go-getterism. Okay. That is part of the toxicity of living in a capitalist society.
I think you're a deadbeat if you're a woman who doesn't take care of her children. Her child is being raised by Nana and Papa.
Right.
And you're out at the club every night and you're out with your friends and you don't have time to do homework with your children, but you got all day to hang out with niggas you just met at the bar. So I think that any person that lives life to put people they don't even know before their child, their seed, and they don't realize that that's their inheritance, their child, they should be given more over into that direction. So I think if you're not doing that, you're definitely a deadbeat and you're definitely not sowing seeds in the correct direction. Because half these people you're spending time with are hating, jealous. Your kid will love you, and even if your child turns out to do different things, because different kids do different things, this is part of you. So you're supposed to be here lining this up.
I think according to America and capitalism and the Western world, a man is a deadbeat if he can't compensate for the flaws and the weaknesses in his intimate partner.
Compensate for
He has to
her
compensate for her bullshit.
Okay.
What's wrong with her? And he's got to provide for her.
Right.
But how
if he can't do that, if he can't compensate for whatever ails her, he not a good man.
That's not true, though. He is a good man.
You didn't hear what I said.
Okay.
I said according to
Okay.
society's rules. You're going to do a better job of listening now. According to society's social game rules, a man that is a constant provider in multiple areas. Look at your standards.
Right.
He's got to be loving. He's got to be considerate. He has to be a great provider. He has to be this. He has to be all of that shit in your standards. And I'm talking about in the average woman's standards is shit she receives.
Right.
And she'll choose a nigga who's got more to give to her than a nigga who doesn't. And most of the things that men give in our modern day society are not really things of substance.
No, not at all.
They're really not.
No.
This is why a woman could be with a nigga for 10, 15 years and can leave.
Right.
On some old nigga,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
But I think that's because, like we talk about it all the time. It's how you raised really that makes you a good or bad person, And I think that when men are in a relationship, you guys are not as quick to say what you're not liking about another person, about your mate. You guys are, like you said, if the pussy's good, y'all go through way more to deal with that woman because the pussy's good instead of correcting her on her bullshit or even addressing it so you can move to a better level.
You can't correct anybody on their bullshit.
Well, you can tell them about or call them on their bullshit.
What is that going to do?
That'll make them open their eyes and see a real motherfucker.
Can't make a motherfucker open their eyes. The unwilling is unwilling.
True.
Only somebody who's looking to improve internally is going to change themselves. And they ain't got shit to do with nobody else. We just watched a video before Mimi got here. Again, we just watched a video that said relationship is a mirror.
It is.
And all that shit you're getting is shit you're supposed to be working on.
Right.
But we don't live in a society like that.
Unfortunately.
We live in a society where it's the man's fault.
You're right.
I agree.
Does somebody disagree with me out there? Call me right now. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Call us right now.
You guys are blamed quite a bit for everything.
For everything.
This is true.
A mama could be the worst person in your life.
Oh, yeah.
But still be your mama.
Yeah, and she's gonna be your mama, and unfortunately, hopefully, the father's around, so you know him. But he'll get called a deadbeat when he don't show up one day. But the mother could be fucking up all year long.
So hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's impossible for a woman to be considered a deadbeat. I'm just saying it's highly improbable, regardless of what the fuck she's done. It's highly improbable.
True.
Am I wrong?
No.
Y'all can attack me? I don't know.
I'm not going to attack you about it because this is the one time I do agree with you.
I agree with you, but I do think that when women do certain things, people do look at those things and shake their head and disagree with them. Because I know about 5 or 6 stories pertaining to women where, I'm on the man's side and everyone else is too. I mean, there's been deaths. I think I spoke to you about it. I mean, there's been so many different things with the children, bringing other men into the home and, the child getting murdered and so many different things have occurred. So I said that to say I agree with you. But I think when a woman does the exact same thing but highlight it more, I guess she has to probably do more because, like you said, women are hidden under a certain shadow of it. But I think when they take it to the next level, I think that people do recognize like, oh, she ain't shit, or, you know what I'm saying? She's a bad mom. You shouldn't have your kid around that person because they are out there.
Here we go. Callers, you're on the line. I need to hear from your fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. How you guys doing? Call in. Let us know. What's the deal? You're on the line. What's your name? Where are you calling from? This is ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. Speak on it.
I'm calling from Houston.
What up, bro? What's your deal?
Hey.
Nothing much. I was calling because I wanted to give an example, I guess, of an ancient mother, if I can.
Is that what we doing? Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, my bad. Since I was trying to call, and I'm using my phone, it didn't give me what y'all were currently talking about, so I can answer a current question as well.
That's all right, brother. Just lay it flat, man.
Okay. I love my mom, but I was raised up without my dad. But I coming to listen to your show, I had to recently come to realize that my mom, even though I love her, is an ancient mother. And it's hard to deal with it right now as a young man because I'm only 30. But I have three sisters, and I see them growing up with struggles because they didn't really get taught how to be a proper woman by my mother, so they have issues in their own personal life.
Right.
And I'm trying to awaken their minds to see, that my mom's been leading them astray for so long, but they've been so programmed, it's hard for them to get out of it. And even though that when I was younger, my mom was married to a man that wasn't my biological father, but my mom had 4 kids when she met him. He was a good man because he took care of us. He worked 2 jobs. My mom didn't work, but he took care of 4 kids that didn't belong to him. In my opinion, that's a good man. The entire time my mom was with this man while she was married, she was sleeping with, she was talking to other people behind his back, and sometimes she would use us in the schemes that she would commit behind his back.
Wow.
And as I was growing up as a young man, I didn't realize how seeing that as a young man affected the way I interacted with women, because for a long time I never trusted them because I saw the way my mom claimed that she loved my dad in front of him, but also how she showed us behind closed doors how devious she could be. So in my mind, I had a fucked up impression about women because I saw, because of the way my mom is, the worst parts of a woman, which is a woman can be in your face smiling and putting on this front and be like an angel in your mind. But behind closed doors, she could have this whole separate personality that's going on, and it kind of fucked my mind up when I was younger as a young man because I grew up to not trust women. And I didn't have a respect for them, and I didn't realize that when I was younger because even though I had a male figure around, he was working most of the time, and he was from a foreign country, so his social dynamics from what he grew up with and what I'm growing up with was different. Like, he knew what a dad was like being in the home, and I really didn't. So we didn't have that intimate bonding like a father and son, like, let's go play a game, or son, let me talk to you about the, females and what to avoid, because he was from a different country. He didn't know all that.
So his whole culture.
Right.
So
and,
he knew, well, he didn't know, and your mother knew about his ignorance and used it against him.
Exactly. And she did this for years, and to top it all off, man, towards the end they ended up getting a divorce, and what she ended up doing, bro, and this is what the icing on the cake was for me. She had a man staying in our house, and she had him locked in a room. While my dad was working, he worked night and during the day, so he was gone most of the time. And she had this other nigga locked up in the house, like to where my dad wouldn't find out, and then she ended up telling me some lie, because I had went off to school, telling me some lie about my stepdad hitting her, and she divorced him, when in reality, she divorced my dad so she can go marry the nigga she had locked up in the room hiding.
Oh, my goodness.
Wait a minute.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm saying this to say that it be some real shit going on out here and I try to get my sister, because my sister's got kids now, and I try to tell them, be careful what you're doing around your kids, because you saw how what we saw our mom do affected us as we grew older. And we still trying to work through that, but unfortunately most of my elders have already been fucked up from drugs and all kind of, they from a different era.
Wow.
So I can't even look to them for inspiration, because they don't even know how to communicate. When they get in their emotions, they get to cussing and acting a fool. And most of my family members are women, so they all have this alpha female matriarchal mindset. So when they get around each other, it's very intense.
Right.
And it's usually an argument going on. So I can't even talk to them because if I say something to them, then they start going off on me. And they're used to a man cussing them out and acting a fool with them. And I'm trying to show them something different from a new generation. I'm like, hey, I'm a man. I don't have to cuss you. I ain't gonna put my hands on you either, because I know I can kill a nigga with my hands. So what the fuck I did? What the fuck I look like putting my hands on a woman? I'm gonna just walk away from your crazy ass. But they look at me and they say to me, you know, I need to do better. And I'm like, but you my elder. You know, back in the day, elders used to make decisions in the village. Now I can't even look up to my elders anymore because they all fucked up.
Right.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? And there's this big disconnect from my generation, and I'm only 30. But I can't even find a connection because my younger generation, either they want to be turned up or twerking on thoughts, or these undercover niggas that want to sag their pants and act like they're not gay.
Right.
Or I like talking to older women, but older women ain't into kids, and I ain't got no kids and nothing. So that's his own issue altogether. But I'm just like, I see I think what our biggest problem in the black community is we don't have spirituality anymore. Ooh. And because of that, we are lost. And even when you're a spiritual person seeking some kind of spiritual enlightenment, you might get tricked into going into Christianity, which I have nothing against Christians because I used to be one. But I just didn't find any leaders to lead that particular spiritual teaching in a way that resonated with my spirit. There are truths in Christianity, but that's like in every other religion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Man, keep going.
That's right.
Well, because our value system, everything is so goddamn material now, which if you're a smart person with deductive reasoning, just regular common sense, you should know that from the time of the Egyptians, they don't give a fuck what you burying yourself with. Ain't nothing material gonna go with you into the afterlife. But everybody's so concerned about getting money and what a person is valued at on a material level that we can't see nothing else. Like I remember I was watching one of the shows you did with Corey, and y'all was talking about who would smash the comedian, the tall one that played in the Ghostbusters movie. I think her name is Leslie Jones.
Oh yeah.
Now, see, me personally as a man, I'm about 6'3", so her height ain't nothing to me. But if she was a spiritual woman, I don't give a damn what she looked like. I'm getting on that path right there because I know what a spiritual woman can do for my spirit, for my healing. And I also know what a toxic woman, like you also mentioned when you say the Matrix and the woman in the red dress, every time I see the woman in the red dress, I instantly get turned off because it's like poison to me. Don't get me wrong, I'm a man. Of course, I still want that. But I have to shut that part of my brain off to say, hey, I know you want that, and I know it looks good, it may even taste good. But by the time you finish eating that shit, your stomach going to be hurting, you going to have a shit.
Not your stomach.
Your dick might have some bumps on it. It ain't worth it.
He said he
it
got
ain't worth it. Nigga, stay away from it.
Hey, brother, listen, you dropping some good game, man.
That's
and
right.
I appreciate you taking the time, man, to share some candid thoughts. You know, hey man, I ain't got shit else to say about it, nigga. I appreciate it. You got one. You got another one. You got another one. You got another point.
I got a question for him.
No, you don't.
Yes,
no.
Queen, please.
He said queen.
No.
Yes, Queen. What you got?
No, don't you call this one a queen. This one right here, she is a princess.
I'm a queen.
She has not.
I'm the queen of the castle.
We talking about a melanin princess, or we talking about Caucasian princess?
No,
they marry you off to somebody.
She's a melanin. She's a melanin princess, but you're not queen yet.
Anyway,
have you seen? Those things, them twins she got in the front, brother, they can feed a whole nation right there.
They are nation feeders.
I am the queen.
Those are nation builders right there, brother. You know how much DNA she gonna feed a child until they cerebellum with all that goodness.
Let me put them on the table.
Don't put them on. Take them.
Let me ask a question.
Ask the brother the question.
See, because you almost made me forget. Now, never mind. Just never mind.
So she did forget.
Yeah, I mean, no, I just didn't want to. It's all right. We've already
ask
passed
the question.
it.
Go ahead.
No, please, ask me the question.
Now, you said that you were raised by women that it got real intense. They were just cussing at you, and I know that era. Your mother and them are probably around my age. You're 30, so I have a son 32. Yes, I'm that old, motherfuckers in the chat room.
Your question?
So,
Jesus.
What I wanted to know is, you said you like older women. When you try to talk to older women, what happens? I mean, like, are they like way older? Or are they? Do you think they're gonna act like the women that you were raised by, and it scares you off from them or something?
Most of the older women are used to how I'm a new generation. I didn't really have, like I was saying, I didn't have a real big alpha male figure to teach me how to be a man. So that's something I had to learn through life's trials and tribulations. So now that I know how to be a man, and I'm still learning how to be a better man, a king, when I interact with women now, most women that I have an interaction with, most of the problem is because I'm not all up on them, like I want to rip their bones off and fuck the shit out of them until they squirt nut all over the walls.
I need one of those.
Right, they have a problem with that, huh?
They got a problem.
Don't get me wrong. We can get there. But what I'm saying is that's not everything that we should be based upon, because I've been in relationships where it was all strictly sexual. And if you're a man, though, a real man, you'll know that if you wear pussy out, pussy can get monotonous after a while. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and getting it whenever you want to, that's how I learned that sex would make a relationship last. Because I had a woman I cared about, but I had used the sex that she offered up to me so much that it got boring to me. And I couldn't even tell her, like, hey, I care about you, but we done fucked so much that your pussy is no longer exciting to me. And that's my fault, because I should have held back as a man, but I was young and inexperienced, and I didn't know.
Right.
And that's what I had to discover, that it has to be something more than just a sexual gratification that
pursuit.
You get out of a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, brother, again, I appreciate for the call.
Right.
Thank you so much for calling in. You dropped good game. If you want to bring your city into the building, all you got to do is call.
You too.
The queen says goodbye.
Hilarious.
If you want to bring your city in, and all you got to do is call 323-230-4610. I swear to God, before it's over, before the end of the world, I will teach these people how to do radio. I promise you.
These people. One people.
One people.
All of us.
True or false? Losers spend way too much time being pissed off by the problem rather than moving into a positive state of mind and getting on with building the solution.
Right.
True or false? Losers focusing on the problem is generally done through storytelling. Well, you know what? The nigga did this, and this is what he did, and I'm going to tell you, I knew whoop, 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 and she whoop, whoop, right? Losers tell made-up stories to themselves and those around them about the problem.
Right.
Wow.
True.
Now, it's easy for a man to get hit in the mouth by somebody that's male or female that'll just say, nigga, stop making excuses. We don't do that to our women. A lot of times, those made-up stories get validated by the circle of women that are around the woman telling the story or making the excuse.
And not holding her accountable.
For her
bullshit.
There are not, listen, I'm telling y'all the truth. There ain't no real circles out there where women hold each other accountable.
Oh, yes,
there are some, I'm not saying, listen to what I'm saying now. Men and women are socialized differently.
But you know.
Men get held accountable. Me and Jeff Brown are friends. If I'm on some bullshit, Jeff Brown gonna be like, Zo, you on some bullshit, my nigga?
Right.
If I'm on some bullshit, Kev, Reggie, Cool Mo D, it's gonna be a few niggas that holla like, hey, Zo, what's happening, my nigga? You own one.
Right.
That's true.
I'm just saying, socialize different. A lot of times y'all will allow a lot of shit to just go because that's your girl. Y'all peoples. A lot of times the mother-daughter relationship be like that too. You want to get in?
Mm-hmm.
I know you do, but you gonna wait.
Okay.
This is punishment for jump. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is it's unfortunate, but you're right about that, and it made me think about, like, I have some friends to where I won't check them on certain things. You made me think about that only because I know how their reaction is.
Who gives a damn? You know how the man reaction gonna be.
But see, y'all don't end up punching each other in the mouth and dragging each other out most of the time.
We do.
Sometimes, but y'all will make up right after. Women hold grudges. We don't
so y'all
let
don't
shit
tell
go.
each other the truth because y'all hold grudges
No, I'm
differently.
not saying I won't tell my friends the truth, but I do have a friend to where I want to check her about certain things, but they're things that are involving her morals and character. And
why is that your friend?
Because we grew up together.
See, you just proving my point. Stop proving my point.
Well, I can't help it. I'm going to prove your point this time because you made me realize some shit right then that I do need to start checking her on. But it's hard because of the simple fact that her reaction might make me punch her in the mouth.
So
you gonna fight your girlfriend? Cool. All right.
Hilarious.
Go ahead. Mimi.
So in situations for me, if they really bother me, I'm going to say something. I almost can't help it if I'm really your girl because guess what? I see fault in it. But a lot of times, unless people are mature and can take self-reflection,
Here we go.
They do not listen to the advice. What they do is they turn it around on you and either make it that you're hating,
Go ahead, Mimi.
you're misunderstanding, mind your own business, I shouldn't have told you anyway, who do you think you are? All these excuses to make up for what they've done. So it's just a catch-22. I do it. But again, when I know this is going to be a fight, when they start off real angry about the answer, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to let them go on and have that. If you want to be dumb, girlfriend, you go on and be dumb. But I did tell you, and when you call me back, the shit hit the fan, you'll always remember, I told you so.
Wow, good shit. Ladies have false friendships where they don't really tell each other the truth. It's been verified here on The Voice of Reason. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
Is that bitch calling me?
What up? Yo, you on the line, bro. What's up?
What's up, Zo? Hey, Mimi. What's up, Peaches? How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, wanted to chime in on women painting men as deadbeats when they're not. Because a lot of women like to play victim. When I left my ex-wife, the night I left is because she had put her hands on me. And so instead of killing her, I left.
Right.
And,
right.
We just couldn't work things out, and so it is what it is. So fast forward, she ended up coaching her daughter into saying I touched her.
Wow.
Oh no,
I don't like that.
And the thing about it is she's in the Army, and she has a very high security clearance. Means her and her child is federal property, so it turned to a federal case. So that cost me money and all that. And we have a son. We have a son together, and so it kept me away for a long time. So for about a year and a half, I didn't see my son. I tried to reach out to her. I put money in the account. She'll take it out, put it back in mine. Oh, I don't need you. I don't need your help. I don't want your money. And then later, she's like, "Oh, when you gonna get on child support?" No. You got to stand on that shit. You said you don't want me. You don't need my help. Stand on it.
Society says she doesn't have to stand on it. So you're gonna get upset again.
Yep. We worked out things. Now we're doing better now and being co-parents and stuff.
Good.
But man, she was telling everybody I won't shit and anything under the sun and to anybody that would believe her.
Wow.
Now the flip side of that is I have a mama who I found out last year because her and my ex-wife were in cahoots. Mind you, my mom ain't been around my whole life like that. But,
Wow.
my mom jumped on her side. You ain't met this woman, 3-4 times. You my mama. No matter what we've been through, you my mama.
Right.
She jumped on her side, and she sent me this long message. End up, confessing basically to killing my father by overdosing him on his pills and stuff when I was away into the military. And she put a bunch of stuff in the message, how he used to beat her and everything like that. And I'm a biracial child. My father's black.
Gosh.
My egg donor's white. Now this woman white. I ain't never seen no bruise, no scars, it's gonna show on her white ass. Nothing. But she always painted him to be the worst person in the world. Did he do drugs? Was he, not around because he'd be high? And I had to learn how to take care of him, during overdoses as an 8-year-old. Yeah, but at least he was around. So all I've seen my life was women being deadbeats or forcing a man to be in the deadbeat position. And so that made my relationship with women real fucked up.
Right.
And it made me want to and so I started dealing with older women. Like when I was 21, my girlfriend was 16 years older than me.
Wow.
And I was touching her soul.
You need a hug, brother.
Okay.
Hey, man, let me just say, man, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you being so honest and open and candid. Thank you so much for the call. Listen, if you want to bring your city into the building, all you got to do is call 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. Thank you, caller. Listen, I mean, this is really something to think about because...
Right.
These are things that the way society is set up. And like I said, I don't blame women because you guys were born into this society the same way men are born into this society. Right? So a lot of times men, because they don't understand that their ideas about how to relate, about how to live, how to succeed, how to grow is not authored by them. It's authored by society. This goes back to that statement I said last show. It was that Wednesday. I said, whoever is the author of whatever you think is true is your Geppetto. Geppetto, of course, is Pinocchio's daddy. You're not cut loose from the strings. You don't even have an original thought. So the natural, kind of default response is men have to provide. We're not saying women don't provide. Women provide nurturing. Women provide, and we talk about good women, sustenance, spiritual sustenance, emotional sustenance. Women provide a lot of shit.
Right.
The caller before him was like, yo, what's missing is the spiritual element. This is why in my new book, The Holographic Relationship, I say most relationship specialists that are educated in the West are really sociologists. They're trying to get you to fit the social template so you can be classified as normal.
Right.
You understand? They're trying to get you in a box.
Right.
They're trying to get you in alignment with a stereotype, with a social norm.
Right.
You get it? Spirituality is atrophied in our relationships. It makes us say dumb shit like, just leave that nigga. And I always say this with this one caveat. This is the one caveat. If a nigga's socking you upside your forehead, get out.
Right.
But if he's not, and he's challenging you to think deeper and to reflect, that's not a bad dude.
Right.
Nope.
Kumo D described me one time. He said, nigga, women can't be with you, Zo.
Why?
He said, nigga, they can only visit. He said, because being around you is going to cause them to self-reflect.
Right.
Nigga, I just want to smoke a joint and fuck.
Right.
He said, that woman is going to have a hard time being around you.
Right.
They can only take you in small doses.
Right. You too much.
Why they high?
Right. Then I got to be high to kick it with this nigga. And there are a lot of, it's
or
real.
Dick down.
I can see,
Right.
but he just said
All
smoke
of that.
a joint. Fuck.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Right.
it's a visit.
Right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When somebody comes into your life to challenge the shit you've been through, you got to learn to see that as a gift.
Right.
And to turn it down over and over and over again in pursuit of the social norm makes you a deadbeat person.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes you a loser. So now we come back to the question, what makes a deadbeat mate? Right? Is it
Okay.
unemployment?
No.
Is he a deadbeat because he's unemployed?
No.
Is he a deadbeat because he doesn't have inheritance? Is he a deadbeat because he didn't finish college? Is he a deadbeat because he stays at home with relatives? Is he a deadbeat because he has kids that he doesn't take care of, can't provide for? Does this apply for males and females equally? 323-230-4610. 323-230-40. Does this apply equally?
No, not at all. I don't think that you're a deadbeat if you're there helping. Like, if just because you don't work doesn't mean you're a deadbeat. You could be doing other things. You have other currencies. You might have that spiritual connection that person needs, like you said, or they might be that person that can take care of shit at home, whereas to where you don't want to. You know, that some people don't like to do housework. Some women would rather have a man at home doing that, taking care of the kids while they work, and vice versa. So that doesn't make you a deadbeat. I think what makes a person a deadbeat is just not giving a fuck about nobody but themselves and what
Has America, this is not the woman's fault, but has America socialized women to be exactly that?
Yes, it has.
Yes.
We just got to be honest.
I hate saying yes to you like that, but yeah, okay.
Callers, you're on the
Right,
line. What's your
that
neighbor? Where you
part.
calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason. Caller, you're on the line. Caller?
Hello.
Who is this?
It's Dana Dane with fame.
It is me. Hi, guys.
Hey,
What up,
Dana.
What's up, Dana?
What up, what up, what up?
Not much. Just coming out of an appointment. Missed about an hour of the show. Kind of looked and saw what the topic was. Heard a caller. That's where I am.
Yeah, all right,
Hey.
all right.
All right.
Well, we're just
Bring me up to speed.
what we're talking about is how society is tailor-made to produce male losers, male deadbeats.
Right.
I gave examples.
Right.
Callers have called in and gave examples. One caller called in and said his mama had a dude locked in the attic somewhere while she
Wow.
was in the process of divorcing her, his dad.
That fucked me up right there.
And
And
we
the
were,
dude was just locked in the attic and just stayed there.
he,
Didn't say nothing.
he was living. He was
hid,
living.
girl, hid in the house while she.
He wanted to be there so bad and replace the husband that he stayed in the attic.
Right. Locked
Right.
up.
Like Harriet Tubman trying to escape.
He probably
Stayed
didn't have
in
no
that.
place
That
to
ain't even
go.
Harriet Tubman because she did leave.
Yeah, she left eventually.
So
Right.
we were basically just saying men are villainized in this society.
Right.
And it's really difficult to villainize a woman in the same way that men are villainized. Like a man can be a deadbeat for a myriad of things. And we were
And
just
a woman could never be a deadbeat.
that's where we're
Or will not be treated in a way as a deadbeat, even though that person isn't taking on their responsibility.
there
That's
we
right.
go. Speak on it then.
No, I was finishing what you were saying is that I know on your post and everything you talked about how, fathers could be the best father in the world, and, they pull out the red card off. Let's shut down the world. It's Mother's Day.
You ain't
Sorry
lying.
about that, mothers.
No, if it.
No.
of where, we're treated the same, no matter if we're equal or worse. Society, from that vantage point, always is at a point where they treat women so much as a damsel in distress. Even though women talk about feminism and they fight for equality and they want to be treated equal in some ways, but not really. I want to be the damsel in distress, and I'll choose when I want to be equal.
I love it. You know, I always love when you call in. I love it. Keep going.
I know. I'm making plans, trying to fix my schedule a little bit so I can sit in next week. I don't know how many shows you'll have next week, but I'm working on that. I wanted today to be that day, but my schedule just didn't permit it. But that's a really good topic. It is what it is, and I blame it a lot on feminism and our reach for equality, but not really, because to me, feminism is more for like white women, because black women have never been in a position to tell a black man what to do.
Exactly.
We've never been in a position where we could rule over their lives in a way that would change something for them to the point where it would affect all of them as a collective.
Right.
That just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So as black women, to me, we should remove ourselves from feminism, because that doesn't work for us, and we're just there for the numbers to make it look like there's a larger crowd. There's women with, makeshift or pseudo scrotums.
Like that. Pseudo scrotums.
Damn.
I mean, because that's what they want. They want to play the role of that man, but they don't want to be treated how men are treated and villainized in the society.
Right.
They still want to be a damsel in distress. I want equal pay for what I consider equal work.
You said that right. What they consider.
Right.
Hey, I love it, Dana. Thank you.
That is not our fight as black people. We need to remove ourselves from all of that, from the feminism, from all of that talk about equality, from the women's, what is it? I think it's called WHO, the Women's Health Organization, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
They don't stand up for us. They never stand up for Sandra Bland or Shakisha Clemens. Those people are absent in those causes, and those are about women. They're gender specific. Yes, she's a black woman, but she is a woman, and you are also a woman. So where are you to stand up for those causes like we stand up for these causes?
Ooh.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, baby. I got to run. So many callers.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Dana,
okay, you guys have a good
one.
Wow.
Dana always hitting the ball out the park.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Mimi this question. Is a person who is unaccountable a loser, a deadbeat? And I mean unaccountable for anything.
Oh, yes, definitely. They definitely are a deadbeat, because you can't depend on them for anything, because everything is based around them. Most people who do that are selfish, and life exists and revolves around them. Wow. And unfortunately, I didn't want to really mention it because I mentioned it on other shows, but, I was a victim of my mom not really being there for me. I mean, I really look at her as a deadbeat in a lot of ways. And even to this day, when she calls me, it's to like almost hurt me. Like, she gets a kick out of it. Like, I think she sits around and says, you know what, I'm going to text her something I know it's going to hurt her feelings. And if my daughter calls her, she does the same thing. She's like, I don't talk to your mom. She's a bitch. And after you, like, who talks to their grandkids like this? But my mom is a different type of person. But I love my mom. But, I think we all have our story. And, mine is deep when it comes to my mom. She was married like 5 times, and I only met 2 of the husbands. I was staying with other people. I never was invited to the wedding. I never met the men. I just saw pictures at her house. So I just said all that to say that I understand I am that person that grew up in a house with no real guidance, and that mom that's trying to put you out in the world in the wrong type of way.
Wow.
But thank God, I had a situation where I was placed to place, and at the time I thought that was something bad, but it was God building me up to be a strong person, because had I stayed with her, I think that I would be more weak.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I'm trying to say? So that's why I was thrown out into the fields, and I didn't understand that. It hurt to be in the fields, but I understood that now that I'm the woman that I am, it helped me to grow. So I thank my mom, and I thank God that this has happened.
Right. Peaches?
The question again.
Then that means you weren't listening.
I mean, I was listening, but I was listening to Mimi too. You asked what was what? I mean, start at the beginning, the question again.
I will not. You're being a deadbeat.
You said what makes you a deadbeat, not what. You asked her a specific question.
Yes.
You said, I'm going to ask this to Mimi, not to...
Now I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a specific question.
Okay.
Seeing that you wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Who do you think, gender-wise, is conditioned in this society, in Western culture, to be the most self-accountable? Men or women?
I would have to say women. I'd have to say women.
Women are socialized to be more accountable in this society than men? Is that what you said?
You said self.
Self-accountable. That's what I mean.
Yeah, women are more self-accountable.
You think so?
In this society makes men be accountable, but women are more self-accountable.
You think so?
We should be more knowledge, have more self-knowledge, but we don't. But
How can you be self-accountable if you don't have self-knowledge?
Because you have to account for your kids. You got to account for going to work every day. You got to, I mean, it's a lot of things women
What
do.
you're actually saying is women are better suited to fit into the system. That doesn't make you accountable.
How come it doesn't if you're aware that you fit into that system?
Somebody's like, hell no. Lies. What the fuck?
Whatever. It's the truth. You know it's the truth. I mean, I'm just saying, men are made to do things. Women do it because we know it's a part of the,
I like this. I like this. Somebody agrees with you. Goddess Ayana says women are trained to be more accountable and responsible.
I thank you, Goddess Ayana. At least you listening to me.
I'm trying to support you.
Okay, yeah, but it took Goddess Ayana to tell you to shut the fuck up and listen.
You're wrong. And I'm going to tell you how you're wrong.
How?
You and Goddess Ayana are wrong.
How?
Women, again, you guys are the vessel.
Okay.
Shit has to be poured into you. You take on the shape of what is poured into you.
Okay.
Social game rules are poured into you.
Okay.
This is where your standards and beliefs come from.
Mm-hmm.
Men tend to mimic the standards and things that or beliefs you have. We tend to mimic that with our behavior.
Like I said, men are made.
Hold on. Listen. I listened to you.
Okay.
And even allowed you to insult
yes,
me.
my king, go ahead.
Know what?
I apologize, king. Go ahead. You may speak to the queen now.
But
you know what?
When we talk about accountability, remember I said earlier, most relationship specialists are sociologists.
Okay.
They're trying to get you to fit a certain set of rules.
And that's what they've done.
And what you consider to be accountable is based off of those rules.
Okay.
What is considered to be the norm.
Okay.
You're supposed to do this. Remember that Chris Rock joke? Black men shouldn't be patted on the back for taking care of their kids. That's what you're supposed to do. Remember that?
Yeah. Bigger and blacker.
Right. Takes appreciation, takes consideration, takes all of that shit and throws it out the window and says this is what you should be doing by default. And that's what you're calling accountability.
Okay.
When I say accountable, look at the social game rules. The social game rules are set up to say what? Men, you provide.
Mm-hmm.
Women, you nurture.
And we know that that's flown out the windows because women are providing now.
Hold on.
Okay.
Because I know you want to.
Go ahead.
Right. Somebody said Peaches needs a ventriloquist. I know. But
go ahead.
But here's what you're missing. Men still are losing. We've had these conversations before, and it's really blowing my mind that either weed has taken away your memory or you've totally forgotten about all of the conversations we've had where you see the deck is stacked against men in terms of traditional relationships, marriage, divorce, child support, alimony.
I agree.
All that. So again, everything is based on what you can give her. And her definition of who you are as a man is predicated on your ability to facilitate to her. That makes him accountable. Hey, you go out there, you do some shit, you're responsible for it.
So why isn't she accountable when she's doing it?
Because society, listen to what I'm saying, that shit is in the minority, Peaches. You talking like it's 50-50. It's not. It's not an egalitarian society. It's not an equal society. It's just not. You talking like it is. Where are your stats and facts to back that it's equal?
You know damn well I don't have no stats and facts to back up that it's equal.
Then you should, so my point is you should not be so vocal. Thank you. Cut off her mic. Caller.
You know what?
You're on the line.
You know what?
Callers.
I hope that's Goddess Ayana.
I hope so too. I like her. Caller.
What up?
Tone Talks.
Tone T.
Hey.
Financial store.
Hey, Tone Talk. Hey, check this out, Tone. I'm turning off Peaches' mic. Turn off Peaches' mic right now so she can't talk.
I won't say that. No.
Turn it off.
I come in there with the baby off.
Now, Tone, will you lay this motherfucker flat?
Look.
Yes, for real, my nigga.
You had a great caller about like 3 back. The guy that called in, fire caller. Appreciate him calling and being so open about his background, you know, because it takes a lot to call in and say that about your mother. Because we're socialized to view our mothers in a certain way, no matter how bad they were. So I just commend him on calling in and being so open about the whole story, about 3 or 4 calls back. You know, I'm going to give you some traits. And y'all just tell me if this makes up a deadbeat. Stay at home with your parents or a relative and you above 25. You work part-time, but you say you starting a business. You a college dropout. You come from a single-parent household. You got a legacy of slavery. You ain't got but $10 in your bank account, but you got a $500 shoe or purse on. My thing that I'm bringing up is I think when we see those traits on a male, we're very quick and able to see or label him as a deadbeat. But when we see those traits on a woman, we have a problem in really being able to assess her as a deadbeat. Oh, she's just getting her stuff together, or it's just a hard time. What I feel like is they're both actually going through the problems of the moment with society and everything like that. But because men are supposed to be providers, the impact of Jim Crow and wealth classification coming together, and slavery and wealth classification, is particularly seen through the lens of the male. He's seen as less than if he can't keep up with the general norm of what society is. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, I'm part of the choir. Do you hear your music in the background?
No, I feel you. And you know what's the trip is? I heard Peaches say that you know we're becoming the providers. Me and you know Yvette did a show this week, and she on Monday. You know Yvette Carnell, Breaking Brown, and I feel like what's happening too is that we're looking at the wrong moment. Meaning the transitionary step of when you take your child from being a young adult in your house to being a fully functional adult in society is when we find out if you provide. Not saying it ain't bad that you take your kid to school and everything, but they subsidize that. You know, I'm not talking. Some of y'all pay private schools, I guess, but most black people send their kids to public school, which means it's subsidized. So you feed your kids food that you're gonna eat already, and then you go and take them to school. That's a great thing. The question becomes though, will you be able to provide the transitionary steps, which means give them enough for a down payment for a house, which means pay for college. And I don't think either of us can, men or women. But somehow we all understand it when that
when we can't provide in that way. It's like, okay, we never were given the tools. But when it comes to this other, like, relationship kind of thing, nobody wants to hear that these men were never given the tools. They didn't go to the horse track. And I think a lot of it goes back to something else that you brought up, Zoe. I want to be real short. Is we really, like a girl can have a homegirl, and they go to Vegas, and she be, like, thieving dudes, like, you know, stealing stuff out of their rooms. Sometimes, like, I think if that's a homeboy, you done with him. But if that's a girl, it's kind of like too many girls are like, that's just our loose friend. That's just our wild friend.
No.
And I feel like too often what ends up happening is we come back to this element of if you look at like Kamala Harris, we brought her up before. Supposedly she dated Willie Brown. Willie Brown was like 30 years older than her and married. If that's true, and that's supposed to be true, how can you bring him to the family reunion? It's like Zoe bringing Maxine Waters into the studio. And like, I'm just saying, so like what we allow for, the range of what we allow for as far as like women making up for wealth classification and the lack of wealth is so much wider. Well, she had to provide for her kids. Well, Zoe got to provide for his car, I guess. And I feel like we don't have a moral standard that's equivalent for both sexes. I'll just leave it at that.
Wow. I like that. Tone Talks coming up after the Voice of Reason here on Dash Talk X, just in the other studio right across the hall.
That's right.
From 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do not have a moral equivalent for defining what a deadbeat is from men to women. Mm-hmm. We sitting here listening to Peaches talk about shit she ain't read, not even a goddamn Jehovah Witness pamphlet on. Speaking on things she don't know nothing
I'm a woman.
Fuck about.
I know about being a woman.
From a throwback generation.
Hey, everybody into throwbacks, right?
Before Tone left, I wanted him to talk about the incarceration rates.
Mm-hmm.
Women barely go to jail.
According to y'all stats.
But maybe they're not getting busted for the...
Okay,
hold on. You got to be busted to go to jail.
Yeah, they committing crimes.
Let's just stop.
They ain't got busted
I know
yet.
you're trying to be funny.
No, that's real stuff, though.
But I need you to say some smart shit.
Okay, yes, you're right.
Okay, I know you're trying to be
That's
funny.
the smartest thing I could say right now.
Because wait. You said, wait a minute. That's y'all stats. Like, me,
I know bitches go to jail.
Like me and Tone are somewhere writing up our own stats.
You already know.
This nigga's crazy. That's what makes, I'm saying, like, according to the numbers. Like, the fucking Justice Department.
I don't know. I see women go to jail. Maybe it's society, social, like you said.
Again, this is the flaw in your perspective. You only speak from what you've experienced, and you can only experience a small circle of things. So if you haven't read anything, but you can only talk about the blocks and the neighborhoods that you from and the people you vibrate and resonate.
You see how she know already. No.
But I'm saying,
I understand what you're saying.
I'm talking about, like, for instance, on the West Coast, how much of the West Coast is black? Demographically speaking.
Not a lot.
The majority of black people in America
on the East Coast
are in the Southeast. Not the East, but the Southeast.
Mm-hmm.
The West Coast, and when we talk about West Coast, we're talking about from Colorado, Utah, all that shit, New Mexico, everything going west, we make up about 10%.
Yeah, not a
of the
lot.
population.
Right.
Those are some more made up numbers.
No,
right?
that's
Okay,
right.
cool.
I didn't say it was made up. I didn't say it was fake news.
But like the point that I'm trying to like lay out to you is like when we don't know something, we try to joke about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of it is, it's not a joke. The reality, sisters are not going to jail at the same rate as black men. The number one incarcerated motherfucker in prison is a black man, and women do not compare to that.
Well,
I agree.
I agree. I mean, if a police car comes down the street, he's going to pull over the black man before the black woman, obviously. And things do happen from that point on. So.
I'm not disagreeing.
So, I mean, I'm not saying you can't disagree. I'm saying if you do disagree with some knowledge. Callers, you're on the line. Callers.
Yo, I'm here.
What's happening, pimp?
Yo, nothing much, man. Hey, I was just trying to get on the damn line with the...
Yeah, you on the line right now.
The Southeast is calling.
You on right now. You live, man.
Y'all talking about feminism, though?
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how to avoid being a deadbeat person, a deeper look at how losers are created. And we're talking about that there's a different standard for men being losers than there are for women. Now, if you just calling into the show and you don't know what the fuck we talking about, why are you on the line?
Keep
No, man, I heard y'all talking. Oh, hey, that's what's up, man. Y'all talking about feminism earlier, but yeah, as far as deadbeats go, man, like to be real with you, man, like I personally feel like a deadbeat is just a person that don't give a damn. You know, as simple as that.
Right.
A man that's out there trying to like work. Let's just say, you know, okay. Y'all get, you know, man and woman get together, they have a kid or whatever, okay? The kid wasn't planned, all right? The man didn't really want no kids, all right? Okay, y'all are too grown. You know, somebody need to be like, okay, we need to figure out what is it that we're going to do. You know, other than just saying, oh, I'm going to put him on child support, he ain't no good. You know, now both people play a role.
That's
so. Hold y'all up too long, but basically the point I'm trying to make
hurry up, goddammit, because shit.
The man is,
you know what,
trying to get his, like, as far as get his child what he needs. He's working or whatever. Okay. He shouldn't be qualified as a deadbeat just because he's not in the child's life all the time. Now, me, I don't have any kids, but it's just that I've witnessed and seen a lot of guys, you know, I've worked who complain about, you know, child support killing them, you know, they just paid child support, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then it's like if they miss a payment, you know, baby mama just be all in their ass, you know, oh, you missed a payment, you know. Now, I'm not trying to take up for those guys who are just purposely not giving a damn neither, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. You going to get to that point? I'm waiting for that point. Get to that point so we can move on, brother.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, the point I'm trying to make, man, is that you're not a deadbeat until you just don't give a damn.
All right.
Like, if you're just not trying, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it.
All right. I appreciate the call. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
For sure.
Hey, we about to take a quick 35, 40-second break. We're going to come right back to this topic. The different moral stick. The different moral ruler that defines male deadbeats from female deadbeats. And hopefully within this 30 seconds, Peaches can read some shit. We'll be back.
I'm ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call.
Hey, you are now tuned in to the voice of reason. The big homies house is your host this evening. ZoWilliams, many topics. Talk about everything, ain't nothing out of pocket. Religion and music to maximizing profit. How to tell if your relationship is toxic. If you're on the wrong path, we can stop it. Knowledge is like the beat and we drop it. So tune in and get you some wisdom. From square guests to niggas that's just out of prison. So whether you're saint, sinner, or heathen, get you some grown game from the voice of reason.
never believe fully in anybody else's BS. I don't care if it's Roger Nish, the Pope, L. Ron Hubbard, Al Gore, George Bush, or I don't care who it is. Don't swallow all their belief system totally. Don't accept all of their bullshit. They're all their BS. The second rule is like unto the first. Don't believe totally in your own BS. Which means that, as Bucky Fuller said, the universe consists of non-simultaneously apprehended events. Non-simultaneously. The universe consists of non-simultaneously apprehended events, which means any belief system or reality tunnel you've got right now is going to have to be revised and updated as you continue to apprehend new events later in time, not simultaneously. This is the natural functioning of the human brain. It's the way children's brains perform before they're wrecked by the school system. It's the way the minds of all great scientists and artists work. But once you have a belief system, everything that comes in either gets ignored if it doesn't fit the belief system, or it gets distorted enough so that it can fit into the belief system. You got to be continually revising your map of the world.
Dash Talk X. Dash Talk X.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God gave you.
Dash Talk X.
Ooh, this topic is heated.
Yeah, hot.
Topic is heated, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Voice of Reason. I be ZoWilliams. I be the pappy.
You be the pappy.
He's not the mama.
Oh, shit. How to avoid being a deadbeat person. We create losers, but a lot of times the jacket that's put on a loser fits more snugly, more tailored to that of a man. You have a different measuring rod for the female loser. Are women only losers when they quote unquote choose the wrong guy?
Nope.
Oh, that's when I'm losing. I'm losing when I choose Mr. Wrong.
But you know what? I think sometimes, though, just something I was thinking about while you were in the break. I was thinking, if a mother is a deadbeat, right, and she sees that child, she's still showing love and trying to act like something didn't happen as far as trying to mend it. Sometimes when there's deadbeat fathers, and this is not all fathers, but some people, when they do things, they don't really... They don't go back to that place where they're showing that extra love because maybe they don't know how to give that love, where some mothers are hiding behind like, oh, I didn't do a good job, but I'm hugging you now, baby. I'm there.
Right.
You feel what I'm trying to say? That emotional tie is what I'm trying to say. Like they push the line with the emotional side of the game. And I think that's what makes the difference. The hugs, the kisses. You know, women are more emotional. Dads are more stern in most cases.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I also think even if a father or a mother doesn't have a real job, let's just say, and they're looking for one, if they're instilling morals and teaching the child right from wrong, showing them ways to grow and be successful in life, that is still adding to that child. So that person is not a deadbeat. That is a person, even though they don't have finances, they're instilling wealth into the child's spirit and soul. So I think that, you know what I'm saying? I think that's something to look at.
Right. No, that's something very important to look at.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're oh, go ahead.
No.
Well, it's like what Zoe said. Women are nurturers. You know, we have that nurturing quality. And even if a woman is a deadbeat, like Mimi says, they're going to show that emotional side because that's all they have. That's all they have. Mm-hmm. They don't have any self-worth or anything that makes them a woman of substance. So all they can do is show love. You better show some fucking love because you're a deadbeat bitch.
Wow. Callers, you're on the line. Caller? Caller.
I hear something.
Hey, I'm calling back.
Who is this? This Dana?
Anytime it's background noise.
How did Dana get in?
You know what, Peaches?
Hilarious.
I had something to offer.
Dana got the bat phone for real.
That's
Talk
right,
to us,
girl.
Dana.
No. Well, I know you were saying that you wanted Tone to speak to the incarceration rate, and I listen to him and Yvette enough to speak to it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So women and men, of course, like you said, though, are not villainized the same way, where a man will be arrested for child support and a woman won't. I mean, you can't give a name of a woman that's been arrested for owing back child support or going to jail like that or even being incarcerated or anything. So I know Tone has given the numbers out, something like 10,000 per 100,000.
Right.
Wow.
And 10,000 for every 100,000. I think it's like 8,000 black men incarcerated. For every 100,000 black men, 800 or 8,000 of them are incarcerated.
Wow.
Right, and the rates for women are nowhere near that. I know that Peaches and Mimi spoke up a little bit about women being incarcerated, but that's just women that we know. Think about women in the nation being incarcerated, and those numbers are nowhere near that because women aren't victimized the same as black men are.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not being arrested at the rates that black men are.
Right, and Zoe broke it down.
It could be for the similar crimes. So
yeah, and Zoe did break it down.
You know, put that out there. I wasn't correcting anybody. I just wanted to put that out there that, you know, black men are being victimized and arrested and incarcerated at a phenomenal rate that women aren't. They don't even think about it in the same way.
Oh, no, absolutely. You know.
And it could be for the same crime.
And thank you, Dana, for coming to my rescue.
But I've mentioned that if we were driving down the street that the male would get pulled over, not the female. That's what happens daily.
You know what? I don't think that. I think that woman could possibly talk herself out of that ticket.
Right.
Before that black male can.
Absolutely.
You motherfucking right.
But the black man will get pulled over quicker.
He gonna catch that smoke. He gonna catch that smoke.
Right. Absolutely.
But that woman, we gonna, you know, officer, what can I do for you? Was I speeding, officer? And we can talk ourselves out of the ticket sometimes. So it's definitely, it really is different. And if you really think about it, and from like the early 80s until now, and think about all the friends and family members that have been incarcerated, I don't think there's any black people, and the numbers have to be really small, that hasn't been touched by some type of incarceration.
For real.
Right. And it's like what Zoe said. The West Coast is way different. It's less black people over here. And I didn't think about that part of it before I made my comment.
You didn't think about a lot of shit.
Hey.
Right. And I'm woman enough to admit when I be wrong about some shit, which is a lot of the time.
Hilarious.
But I do be right a lot of the time. Thank you, boo-boo.
Thank you, boo-boo.
But I also think, I think,
Donnie.
Hilarious.
Donnie.
I know, it's, yeah.
No, it's all good. Hey, all right. Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate it. Let me go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that men are normally trying to be the head of household, and they'll do what they got to do for their house or for themselves or whatever. Women are the same way, but as we said in other shows, women have other things they can hustle. Their bodies, you know, they do other things. And again, like Dana said, they can get pulled over, talk them their way out of it. But I want to say men have another a hat to wear, and they hustle. So that's sometimes they, you know, getting busted hustling.
Yeah, there it is. Callers, you're on the line. What up? Let's get them in here. What's happening?
How's it going, man?
Man, I'm over here hanging, chilling.
Hey.
Hey, man, I just wanted to tell you, man, I love your show, man. Finally got through, man. It's a beast trying to get through. It's the most popular show on the internet, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay. On the phones for show. The phone lines for show.
All right.
Hey.
So what up, bro?
Yo, but for the topic today, man, I just feel like that, you know, going based off of what Tone was saying about what makes a deadbeat, you know, I think his criteria is pretty harsh because just like Peaches was saying, a lot of women are providing nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So since they're providing, and a lot of men are really allowing that to happen if you just want to be honest about it. I mean, a lot of men don't really care either way. If she gonna do it, let her do it, right? But at the same time, even if you think about some of the things that you and Tone try to get across, you know, the times that we live in and how things are changing, it's really a situation where you shouldn't really be thinking about what makes you a loser, but you should really be thinking about what is going to make you successful.
Right.
So if you have children and you were able to get them out the house and they don't live with you and they're married and they have their own families, then you are definitely not a deadbeat.
Right.
You know, but, you know, even I can even say in my case, in my personal family life, you know, I have a mother who a lot of the time she goes through things mentally, and those things mentally are put on us by society where she feels like a loser. But I have to tell her, I remind her all the time, you are not a loser. You know, you have a daughter who was her oldest child. You know, she is well-to-do, doesn't have a husband. You know, she does have 2 kids, but situation that happened with her, you know, was her personal thing. It wasn't a super bad breakup and, you know, some violence or anything, you know, amicable breakup at least, you know, for the most part. And my sister was able to carry on and take care of herself and her 2 boys. And me, I'm married. My brother's married. But my mother, because of society's pressures, still feels that way, like, well, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. You know, you're not comparable to the NFL star. But so, again, it's really a matter of understanding what true success is. And that's why I totally agree with you, Zoe. Spirituality will get you there instead of looking at what the society has to offer.
Good stuff, man. I appreciate that. Good stuff.
Awesome.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I could smoke all of that.
Yes, man. The phone lines is cracking. Thank you for the call very much, man. I appreciate it. So, to go back to Brother's point and Peach's point about that's why we implement the term sumbanal. You guys need to understand, like, if Tone is speaking on numbers, he's talking about the nation. He's talking about the nation. He's not talking about our neighborhood.
Right.
And a lot of times we speak from our neighborhood.
Right.
From what we've seen. And then we use what we've seen as some kind of blanket understanding for speaking for everybody.
Like I did.
Right. And that's not what Tone is saying. Like, if Tone is like, if you, I don't know how many people read his 67-page paper. Have you read it? We got to make sure you get a copy of it.
I need a copy of
because when you read it and you recognize that some of the nation's top economists help write it, and they're talking about the information that represents the nation.
Right.
Right? You then start to look and go, well, God damn, it's like that?
Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of times we might see a nigga with a mattress with $200,000 in it, and we say, well, I know a nigga that's got bread, my nigga. Like,
yeah, but it's in his mattress.
But it's in his mattress, and $200,000 in today's economy is not bread.
That's $2.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The flip side of that is this. For the topic, how to avoid being a deadbeat person, that man talked about the societal pressures that haunted and dogged his mother.
Yeah.
Nigga, my son and daughter's mother has done the wildest shit on occasion in the name of appeasing the social pressure. When they were little bitty babies, I told her, I said, we not fucking with Christmas.
Right.
We're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm going to tell you why we not fucking with Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a hustle.
Right.
And then on top of it being a hustle, they're not going to miss none of it because your family too big and my family too big, and they going to get a shitload of whatever.
Right.
Do you know this nigga spent the rent on Christmas? Not once, but several times.
Did you throw in the towel after a while, or are you still protesting?
But to hear what I'm saying, this is when they were really young. And I'm saying, you don't see how the pressure of society and living up to those kinds of benchmarks brings in a social kind of, brings in this intensity and animosity into the crib. And then your definition of what you think a good man is predicated off of that pressure.
That's bullshit. Yeah.
Well, if you can't give us Christmas, you ain't a good man.
Instead of looking at the whole
What?
thing.
Right.
So now, hear what I'm saying. Yo, as a smart man, an intelligent man, a leader, you don't think what I'm saying to you is valuable? That's not considered a currency to you?
Right.
For the majority of most women, hell no, nigga. We want Christmas, my nigga. Fuck what you talking about.
That's some crazy shit.
We want Christmas, my nigga. We want all the trappings of this society. Again, I don't think motherfuckers can see what a good man is in this society. And motherfuckers damn sure can't see what a good woman is in this society.
I don't think they know.
That's the same thing as not seeing. You only see what you know.
You can see it from the outside. I could look at you and then Mimi, if y'all was a couple, and think, oh, wow.
Let me explain, because you tend to convolute shit. So let me make it clear.
Yes, please.
Knowledge is a reflex of memory.
Okay.
You can't know something until it's a part of your memory. That's how it becomes known. That's what knowledge is. If you're developing a new idea, you can't call it knowledge because it's not developed yet.
Right.
It only becomes knowledge when it becomes practical, when you can put it into use. Knowledge is a reflex of memory. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see.
Oh, my God.
I know.
You know you don't.
I have knowledge of it, what you just said now.
You just know how to exacerbate.
You know what?
Let me just say, this shit was crazy today.
Hilarious.
We gonna come back on Wednesday. Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Ain't no dead beats up in here, bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Baby.
Wow.
Hey, we got to bounce. This was a great show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Everybody tuning in on YouTube. We love you. Thank you for all the support. Don't forget, go out and get the holographic relationship. I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute, all right? Deuces.